such is a land you never have seen, where the beauty of nature in all is supreme, where everything found is majestic and grand, so humble and strong, for such is the land. Such is the land with its mountains so high, where they rise from the valleys to the blue of the sky, and the glaciers and snow caps, since time first began, have crowned them as king to watch o'er the land. It's a place that is not for the feeble or weak, nor the greedy, the selfish, or the timid and meek. It's only for those who are strong and can stand the challenge of nature, for such is the land. Such is the land when with its furious cold comes the long winter days to heed and behold. For the challenge has come to all living things, just who is the master and who is the king. Now ignorance means death, to fight is to die, to plead is in vain, and never a heed to your cry. The challenge of nature now rings with command, be strong, mortal being, for such is the land. Now such is the land when it's peaceful and still, has a beauty unrivaled only God could fulfill. When she opens her heart and in wondrous praise bursts forth in splendor her magnificent displays, then the mortal that bows and bends to his knee knows the Arctic is king and forever will be. It's then that he'll find the strength to withstand the challenge of nature, for such is the land. For such is the land you never have seen, where the beauty of nature in all is supreme, where everything found is majestic and grand, so humble and strong, for such is the land.
Why have waited so long? I hardly know what to do. I remember the smell of the diesel and fish, but I can't say the same for you. It's been a long time coming, but you don't have to fear. Life may be rough on the fishing grounds, but you don't need no permit here. So bring your boat to Hoktaheen, lay those pretty kings at my door. When you climb my stairs, take off your boots, honey, you know what I'm waiting for. So bring your boat to Hoktaheen, well, I'll keep you coming back for more. Put on your smile and stay a while, honey, you know what I'm waiting for. When the southeast winds begin to blow and you're in your bunk all alone, wouldn't you rather be here with me than listen to those creaks and groans? And on a foggy harbor day when the evening begins to fall, wouldn't you rather hold a real live woman than to stare at photos on the wall? The only thing I do not like about working on a fish buying scow is the feeling of wait and anticipate. Don't like it no way, no how. blessings at my door. Put on your smile and stay a while. Honey, you know what I'm waiting for. Put on your smile and stay a while. Honey, you know what I'm waiting for.
All right, so those are your geologic ages. Hey, wait a minute, I've got an idea. Let's sing the song one more time, but have the kids sing along with us this time. You guys ready?
Archie and Proterozoic, Ediacaran, Cambrian explosion, don't forget the Ordovician, Silurian, Make-A-Wish, Devonian, the age of fish, Mississippian, Pennsylvanian, and a Permian, dinosaurs, Jurassic, and Cretaceous, ages everyone should know. Not so very long ago. These are the mysteries and the wonders of the ages, the story of our history. Like moving forward as it marvels and amazes, the miracle that is you and me. Paleocene, Eocene, and Oligocene, Miocene, Pliocene, Pleistocene, and Holocene. If you ever wonder how, that explains the here and now. The Cenozoic is the starting of a new life. Mesozoic, Paleozoic, age of the ancient life. Ages everyone should know, from not so very long ago. These are the mysteries and the wonders of the ages, the story of our history. Like moving forward as it marvels and amazes, the miracle that is you and me.
That was awesome! You guys did great! So was that fun, singing the song about geologic time?
Yeah, that was great. I like that.
Good. So now you can rewind it anytime you want and sing along with your parents. They will love it. You can just put it on repeat and do it over and over and over. Does that sound like a good idea? All right, well, let's back it up and do it again. And again. And again. I was just joking.
And I really love Juneau because you can have fascinating jobs like this, but you can turn around and walk 6 blocks and be on a mountaintop, or you can get in a skiff and go out to a cabin that's in the middle of nowhere.
I'm talking from my heart to you, Ernie, to school Greece. You got to study your grandfather's steps.
When I looked around, I wasn't happy because it's surrounded by mountains and it was cold.
Go to the local airport and you're only minutes away from any southeast town. But the fact is you really don't have to fly away to find different communities. Hello, I'm Scott Foster, and welcome to Rain Country. Regardless of how you get there, it doesn't take visitors or residents long to find that all of our southeast towns are composed of many different communities. One of those communities is based on a culture that came here from the other side of the Pacific.
The 4th of July has added meaning for the Filipino community. It's not only Independence Day for the United States, it's also the day the U.S. granted independence to the Philippines in 1946. Filipinos have been a part of Alaska's culture and workforce for over 100 years. They first came to Alaska in the early 1850s as crew members on whaling ships. The first permanent Filipino settlement in Alaska was established in Ketchikan in 1905. Other Filipino communities emerged throughout southeast and south central Alaska as itinerant cannery workers stayed on after the fishing season. Juneau has the oldest organized Filipino community in the state, founded in 1929. Between 1900 and the 1940s, over 120,000 Filipinos, mostly men, left the Philippines to work or go to school in Hawaii and the U.S. In 1928, Rudy Gavina, just 17 years old, decided to come to America. His family didn't support the idea and refused to give him travel funds, so he borrowed 1,000 pesos from a friend.
Give me 1,000 pesos, and buy tobacco, sell it to him, buy and sell it to him until I made enough money to come over here. So I decided I went and buy my ticket and come over here. And I told them I'm going to America. How could you go up there? You don't even know how to work. You don't. How could you go up there? How do you make a living? So I told them I already had my ticket.
Rudy paid 300 pesos for his one-way ticket as a passenger in steerage going to Seattle.
An American teacher before, when I was in the Philippines, in Tagupan, Pangasinan, he told me, if you want to go to United States and go to school, But when I reached over here, what he told me is not the truth, When I come over here, then over there in the Philippines, when I was there, I was not starving. When I come to this country, especially in Seattle, of course.
As with most Filipinos, it was hard for Rudy to find work, and pay was extremely low. He worked cleaning houses before school each morning. Then after school, it was off to another job. During the summer break, he came to southeast Alaska for cannery work. There were nearly 4,200 Filipinos recruited to work in Alaska's canneries at that time, gradually replacing the Mexican, Chinese, and Japanese workers. Conditions were abysmal and exploitive. Most canneries were located in isolated areas with no place to shop but the company's store, which often charged 2 to 3 times the normal price for necessary goods. Canneries also hired professional gamblers to set up card games. They took workers' earnings, then gave a healthy percentage back to the company. Many of the workers were swindled to the point of owing the company at the end of the season.
It's a hard work. And we only get around $50 a month last month. That's what you get, some of them $30 a month, That's why we had the union, to make the better living and better wages. Because they don't give us a good place to stay. So with food, Now when we have the union, we could talk to the company, that sometimes they have to have the strike on account of those.
Filipino workers fought hard to unionize and combat the corrupt labor contract system, and by 1937 succeeded in doubling wages and substantially improving living conditions. that same year, Rudy came to Juneau to live year-round. There were about 70 Filipino men working in the mines at that time. Because of racial problems, most Filipinos found the rural areas and small Alaska communities preferable to large urban areas. The smaller communities provided fewer problems. However, socializing with whites, especially white women, was still frowned upon, as was attendance at theaters, concerts, movie houses, and other cultural affairs.
We could go to the show, but we're not allowed downstairs, only upstairs. We feel bad about it. We got lots of signs up there where no native and Filipino allowed, you know. We had a bowling alley up here owned by a Filipino. And in it they got card games, restaurant, and barber shop. So it's not too bad. We are all, we have lots of fun. When the war started, and the Filipinos up here really well respected by the people around here.
In 1942, Rudy was recruited into the Army, where he became the Cultural Affairs Officer in the Philippine Regiment during World War II. After the war, Rudy returned to Anchorage and eventually Juneau to stay. Until the late 60s, there were very few Filipino women living in the U.S. or Alaska. Most Filipino men married Alaska Native women. In fact, it was mainly these Native women who raised over $5,000 to buy the first Filipino community hall in the early 60s. Mrs. Diaz was the only Filipino woman living in Juneau until Celestina Antalasco arrived on June 30th, 1947.
Well, when I looked around, I wasn't happy because it's surrounded by mountains and it was cold. And then my husband says, we have to leave tomorrow for Excursion Inlet. And I don't know where Excursion Inlet, I just follow whatever he says. And then all in a sudden the news spread around the community. And Father Sweeney says, oh no, you are not leaving tomorrow. We are going to have a party, a welcome party at the Paris Hall. Oh, there was all kinds of presents. And those natives that were married to the Filipinos, they were so wonderful. They were just like my sisters.
Celestina was 17 when she first met her husband-to-be, Basilia. He was a GI stationed in the Philippines toward the end of World War II.
And then he said, how would you like to go to the United States? And I haven't heard of any United States. Because when I went to school, we only learned our homeland, but not the United States. I only went to 4th grade. And then he said, suppose I would say, I love you and I would like to marry you. And so I start making signs. I says, oh, Jesus Maria Santissima. I said, and everybody was laughing. And I says, oh my God, as old as you are, you must have been married many times.
Celestina remembers being horrified 2 weeks later when Basilia returned with the chaplain after making marriage arrangements through her father. 2 years later, she moved to Southeast Alaska. Today, there are around 1,000 Filipinos living in Juneau. Nearly a third belong to the Filipino Community Organization. Rinaldo Jose is the president of the organization and has some definite goals for the community.
One thing is to promote our cultural heritage. And one example is to revive the cultural dance troupe that we have. The other thing that I have in mind is I want this Filipino community to be a contributor to the benefits or the improvement of this community, the whole community, the Juneau community, and we will be probably a partner in progress. So every time they need some help or any organization who needs some help, we are probably happy to help them.
Filipinos have been and continue to be an important part of Juneau and many Southeast communities, but their contributions have for the most part gone unnoticed. One way to change that and learn more about the food, people, and culture is to attend the next open house at the Filipino Community Hall.
This is early morning in one Southeast Alaska community. This is the main street. Things are pretty quiet right now. In fact, a dog is lying in the street a little while ago, right in the middle of the street. It won't be able to do that in a little while. This town is just waking up. Now, the garbage truck has gone by making early morning rounds. A couple of loggers have come out of these houses and they've headed off to the woods. A couple of fishing boats have gone by. You know, in the background, the cold storage plant, they're processing the halibut that was just brought in. Smoke's starting to poke its way out of a couple of chimneys of some of the early risers. You know, to all appearances, this is a town just waking up for another regular day. And that may be the case in some respects, but in this town, on this day, something very special is going to take place for two very special people.
His honorary title, Salkhan Gawakan, means the Fairweather Mountain Peace Dancer. A peace dancer in the old Tlingit society was a person, an honorary hostage that helped to smooth over troubles, any disputes that occurred. Mrs. Dalton's name, Nakla, means a clan mother, and that's an honorary title that works into Tlingit society in the sense that her children are not only her biological children, but all of the children in the clan.
On this day, all of the children and friends of George and Jessie Dalton were busy all over Hoona. In an apartment, life had to be lived around preparations to make one spectacular cake. And out of doors, some things out of the ordinary were also happening.
We waited till last night, 1 o'clock.
Yeah, when you guys are...
Then we lighted the emu. We let it burn all the way down.
Wrong with everything.
Till about 5 o'clock. Then we put the pig in. And then we let it burn till now, and they're taking it out.
All the unusual activity in Hoona was for an unusual couple. George and Jessie Dalton, who on this May 8, 1989 day were celebrating their 70th wedding anniversary. The Daltons moved through the brightly decorated A&B Hall and, in front of their friends and guests, reenacted their 1919 wedding vows.
I do. Jessie, do you in like manner solemnly agree to receive this man once again as your lawful wedded husband, to love and respect as a minister of the gospel? I declare George and Jessie, now, still, and forever, husband and wife.
The Daltons' 7 surviving children planned and organized the anniversary celebration for their parents, and they wanted to make it a little different.
You know, my mom has always talked over the years of going to Hawaii. You know, she wanted to go to Hawaii. She's never been there yet. You know, it came to me that we'll bring some of Hawaii to her, you know, to both of them, my mom and dad. So I just approached the family and talked to them about it. You know, let's have something different instead of, you know, traditional Tlingit, you know, parties where you have the native foods and stuff, you know. So let's have a Hawaiian luau.
For your entertainment, this is Don Ho from Honolulu.
And the Dalton anniversary celebration began. The food prepared in previous days and nights in the apartment recreation room now appeared on long tables in the hall. The 2 roast pig, cooked in the early morning hours, were there too. That multi-tiered cake that had been made with such care in the apartment now stood in its final glory. There was entertainment provided throughout the afternoon. And part of the ceremony was broadcast in Hoonah, Gustavus, and Juneau live on the radio. The guests of honor listened to honors delivered by many of those who had come to this Hawaiian luau to celebrate with this Tlingit couple.
On behalf of all the people in your community and the city of Hoonah, to have known you and been a part of your lives at some point during the past 70 years has been our gain. Thank you.
Then it was George Dalton's turn to address his friends and guests.
I'm talking from my heart to you, Ernie. You got to study your grandfather's step. Ach toen ik goed het hier kaart het gaan. Ik had dat Celia, Stagata, na hitnach.
George Dalton's message was one he had given on many different occasions, trying to bring people together, to smooth over disharmony, reaching out, not only to Tlingit clans, but also to non-Tlingits. It was a continuation of the peace dancers' efforts to bring everyone together.
George and Jesse, Mom and Pop Dalton, are among only a handful of surviving Tlingit people who grew up in the old tradition. And not only did they grow up in the old tradition, but they absorbed it. They're among those, that part of the culture that took the old ways in. And at one time, of course, it would not have been as remarkable as it is now, but they're the survivors.
Alaska, where the water runs clear as glass. The home of the penguin, the walrus, and the aurora borealis. Say 6 months a year, you got nighttime all day. Gotta practice my heart, keep the polar bears away. Way up in Alaska, where the wolves and the Eskimos play. First I'll build me an igloo, live alone in my dome of blue. Buy me a low-down mileage dog sled, mama, some alligator snowshoes. Gotta look fancy when I'm chasing. Say my baby's heart is frozen, just won't treat me nice. I'm gonna call up Santa Claus and ask his advice. Way up in Alaska, maybe someone else treat me right. Tim and I used to travel around a rock and roll band called Tight Squeeze. Played this in all the outstanding nightclubs in Haines, Yakutat. Had a good time that summer anyway. Got in a fight. Wish I had a good blow of cocaine. Hey, I'd feel alright now. Soul conductor's pretty slow. Baby keeps on running around. Yeah, she's a run around. Say my baby's heart is frozen. She just spit in my face. If it gets in a cold, I'll be frozen to this place. Way up in Alaska, maybe someone else take a place. Well, I've been to Alaska, yeah, where the water runs through this glass. Most places. I didn't see any penguins, but I saw the aurora borealis. Yeah, yeah, oh, my baby's heart is frozen. She just won't treat me nice. I'm gonna call up Santa Claus, ask his advice. Way up in Alaska, maybe someone else treat me right. Maybe someone else treat me right. Way up in Alaska, yeah. Maybe someone there treat me right.
My body's walking in space. My soul is in orbit with God face to face. To starlight. Oh, tripping sees the intention. My mind is as clear as the country air. Oh, I feel my flesh, all colors mesh. Oh, my soul is in orbit with God face to face.
In the mountains, a miner who lived all alone in a little log cabin he'd built for his home. Was tired of living a lonely, sad life. Went into the city to buy him a wife. He was bearded and dirty and homely as sin, chewing tobacco all over his chin. The gold that he carried in a poke on his arm, to the girls he'd be handsome and so full of charm. In the city he wandered to every saloon, the dance halls, the hotels, and every bar room. He looked and he searched, he was bound he would find some sweet loving woman, her charms to entwine. He spied a young maiden, the cutest he'd seen, red lips and blue eyes, a real miner's queen. Here is the girl that he'd take for his bride, back to his cabin to live by his side. He said to this maiden, you're the one meant for me. I'd be oh so happy if my wife you would be. I'll make you a deal and a promise to pay an ounce of my gold for every pound that you weigh. He opened his mouth, he smiled and he leered, the chillin' tobacco ran over his beard. She looked at this miner and turned white and pale. She said not a word and then stepped on the scale. 125 pounds she did weigh, $4,000 of gold he would pay. But he was tired of living alone. He now had a wife he could call all his own. He roared at the miners, come gather around. I'll buy you a drink for the maiden I found. He kissed his sweet woman so tender and dear, put chewing tobacco all over her ear. But sad is the story, for the very next dawn he woke in the morning, his true love was gone. He looked for his gold, and a letter did see, your chewing tobacco is too much for me. She'd taken his fortune, 'tis sad, but it's true. She made him so lonely, so mad, and so blue. And now he's decided, instead of a wife, to keep chewing tobacco the rest of his life.
The workers in this state office building are an important community within the community of Juneau, and taken together, they're an important part in determining the character of this town. But although they may be lumped together as one group, just like every other group, they're composed of individuals, and they all have different outlooks and different interests.
Look official.
All right.
And?
And did you talk to that person who called yesterday about not sending an application? You got that one taken care of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't really, she was confused as to when the program ended and when it started. So.
Sounds good.
There are more than 3,500 state employees in Juneau. Wendy Wolf is one of them. She's in charge of a program that helps low-income Alaskans pay for their fuel. Like many state employees, Wendy Wolf spends most of her day behind a desk.
Wendy?
Yeah?
Excuse me, there's a client for you on line 1.
Thanks.
Uh-huh.
This is Wendy Wolf. Can I help you? And when did you mail it? Okay, well, let me just check on the status of that.
In addition to work, Wendy's interests run toward the arts and the wilderness. It's having access to them all that attracts her to Juneau.
I really love Juneau because you can have fascinating jobs like this, but you can turn around and walk 6 blocks and be on a mountaintop, or you can get in a skiff and go out to a cabin that's in the middle of nowhere.
It's that cabin in the wilderness that occupies most of Wendy's free time and some of her thoughts during office time.
When it's beautiful out there, I can hardly sit still because I go, gee, if it's nice out there, I wonder what it's like in Lynn Canal. Would I be able to get across? And then when I'm really, it's like Thursday or Friday and I'm getting ready to think about going, then I turn on my trusty little weather radio.
Marine forecast for southeast Alaska issued at 4 a.m. Tuesday.
Wendy bought land on the west side of Lynn Canal in 1981 and began building her cabin in 1982. It's been her weekend destination ever since.
If I leave work at 4:30 on a Friday afternoon, go home, throw the food in the cooler, change clothes, go pick up whoever's coming along, get the boat, get to Amalga Harbor, it's about an hour and a half. I mean, I've gotten it down to a science. And I don't feel totally relaxed until that moment. The boat has definitely kicked on, and everyone's in, and everything's packed, and I pull around that bend, and then it's like, that's when it hits me. It always hits me just then. For some reason, it's like the transition takes place, because I know from then on, you know, I'm gone. I'm in my other life. I mean, when I first came to Alaska, I wanted to build a cabin in the woods. I remember reading a National Geographic's article about some people who built a cabin near Denali. And I remember thinking, oh, wouldn't that be neat? And then I moved up here and I was working for state parks and I met those people. I mean, this was National Geographic's come to life. But I realized the longer I worked for state parks, the less chance I would ever have of having summer to myself. And all I did was spend time helping everybody else have a great time in Alaska. So one day it dawned on me that I really needed to either change my lifestyle and give up work completely, which I couldn't afford to do, or find a way to work to support a lifestyle that I could have part of the time.
The part-time lifestyle took the form of this two-story wilderness home measuring 16 by 20. Each floor is one open room. She designed it to be comfortable and accommodate lots of friends. All the construction materials were transported by boat, and since this was Wendy's first construction project, she got friends to help.
I had a really good friend help at the very beginning who knew a lot about framing, and he was real instrumental in getting it off the ground. And then after that, it's just whoever I could scrounge up. Hey, there's a lot of crab and beer. You want to come on over and we'll put on a deck. And then the rest I've just done myself. Someone gave me a book called Against the Grain, A Carpenter's Manual for Women. And I just say, gee, I think I want to put the siding on. I'll start flipping through it, figuring it out.
There's been lots of opportunities to flip those pages because, just like an old house in town, a new cabin in the woods always has something that needs to be finished, repaired, or improved.
I'm not sure if done is a concept in recreational cabins. I need to put the siding on the outside, and I've got some of that, but once I see how far that goes, I know I'm going to need to get more. And I need to do all the inside trim work and finish parts of it. So there's a lot of that. And I want to build a tool shed, and I want to put the back door in, and I want to finish the sauna.
Having a wilderness getaway cabin is the dream of many Southeasterners, but for Wendy, the reality behind the dream is that she had to make sacrifices and choices to get this cabin.
It is definitely a drain on my expenses. I mean, by the time I pay my land payment every month and, you know, whatever insurance I need and the cost of the boat and all that, it really adds up. I got out here this spring and the generator didn't work, and it was like, great, and a new generator costs a lot of money, so I was like, how do I do that? So I had a garage sale and made some money and bought a generator. I turned in a lot of old bureaucratic clothes for a new generator. For me, coming out here all the time has limited other things for me. So, I mean, I've never been to Hawaii. I don't go on vacations to other places. For me, it's real important, but I think other people have that other thing that's important to them, whether it's soccer or kayaking or you name it. I just have chosen a different outlet.
Wendy learned early in the cabin building process not to feel guilty if she didn't work all the time. And to make the free time as pleasant as possible, she added the things to the cabin that she likes.
Propane stove so I can bake and cook, and I have all the accoutrements that I would have in my kitchen at home. I mean, I'm probably one of the few cabins that has a garlic press, a coffee grinder, good coffee thermoses. I really like to have all the things that make for home. And I have sheets and blankets and some sleeping bags instead of all sleeping bags, and a real bed instead of, you know, a pad on the floor. So it's just cozy.
Another part of the coziness has been installing propane lights so she can read, an activity that frequently takes place in the coziest spot in the house, the upstairs bed fitted into the dormer located under the skylight. Of course, if all someone wanted was to stay cozy, it would be far easier just to stay home. For Wendy, the attraction of a wilderness cabin is also the attraction of a wilderness walk.
It's like recharging your batteries to be around the water. I can't imagine not living somewhere where you could have the water. And so I could walk up and down that same stretch of beach every day for the rest of my life and never be bored, because it's always different. I mean, whatever's out there, it's always different and it's always the same. And it's very peaceful but very exciting. There's part of me that really wants to do that and be part of society and have a productive career and all that. And the other part of me wants to stay over here and read every book that was ever written and walk on the beach and do all that, but I can't. So if this fits me perfectly, I can do both.
This week on Rain Country, we've been looking at different Southeast communities by living within a larger one, by being honored by one, and by creating your own. And our regular community meeting will return next week at the same time when we look at more of the Southeast community that makes up Rain Country's backyard. I'm Scott Foster. Think well of your neighbor.
La 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 land. It's so deep there you can't stand. It's way over your head. You don't need a plan in La La Land. La La Land is a place you can't stand. It's way over your head. But when you're dragging weight, anticipating, La La Land means safety instead. But even if you run away to outer space, there is no place that is perfectly safe. Your hoochies wear out and your taglines chafe. There are sharks in La La Land.